Hello, this is Saturday Covenant. I'm an author, book project consultant, social media strategist, and a whiteboard animation coach. Today, in this podcast, I will be discussing with you what I title Before You Next Her. After the launch of my book, Women Walk Away, an elderly man got the book for his son, who is in his late 20s and was just recovering from a broken relationship. He once got himself entangled in a very abusive relationship, and after the lady had ruined him, she decided to live his life. So she walked out of his life, leaving him more heartbroken. After the lady left, it wasn't long. He brought home another woman just to fill the gap. It wasn't up to a year, the lady also broke up with him. So at the time when he got this book, he was practically rebuilding his life and pulling it back on track again. One day when I visited the family house, the young man seized the moment to tell me how this book has helped him turn the pain he was going through into positive energy. On that same day, by the time I got home, I had a knock on my door, only to discover that it was my next door neighbor. He handed me a copy of my book and said, "I am done reading the book." I allowed him to talk further. Then he said, "It was just as if you wrote the book for me, because what I'm going through now is exactly what this book is all about. I find courage reading it." So you might be wondering what happened that made me give him the book to read. I was in my apartment one evening. Then I heard noise in the compound, which attracted people in the neighborhood. When we got there, we saw two ladies dragging an umbrella with him. One of the ladies repeatedly said, "I beg, give me the umbrella. It is my boyfriend's umbrella." We proved further, only to discover that this lady was his ex-girlfriend who was living with him, and it wasn't up to a month that they have broken up. That was a breakup from a 2 years relationship. So that evening, she had escorted her other friend to her ex-boyfriend's house with the umbrella of the current boyfriend who she is currently living with. See, wahala. So along the line, there was an outburst of emotion from the guy, and he never wanted her to go back. She fortunately sneaked out and left with her friend. On the way, they remembered they had forgotten this umbrella. That was what brought them back to the boy's house. It took some security men to come for the rescue that night. That was what prompted me a few days later to give him the book to read. When he returned the book and we were discussing, he revealed how he was betrayed by this lady. He had housed this lady for 2 years, only to relocate with her about 2 months ago to this new apartment. He never knew that every day while she goes to work, a guy living in the same area will stop her on the way and be wooing her. The next thing she did was that she brought up a case, and the next thing she packed her things and left to live with this new guy who lives on the next street. He said he couldn't sleep nights, and sometimes he cried himself to sleep only to wake up around 3 a.m. to continue. He had sometimes stumbled on the guy and her ex on the street, and all of a sudden his mood would change completely. I felt his pain. Now, here is the reason for this podcast. As we were talking, he said a friend had earlier advised him to get another woman immediately, so that when next her ex will come around or pass by, she will see her and regret her actions. I laughed so hard. Who does that? So what is your take home? Before you next her, you first. Before you next her, you first. There is every possibility you're going to mess up the next relationship when you don't heal first from the hurt of the previous relationship. The desire to distract yourself from a painful breakup can end you in a worse kind of relationship. Say no to rebound dating. Don't enter into another relationship until you're in the right emotional state. Give yourself time to heal. Now, immediate replacement has never been the best bet for a lost item. You can ignorantly buy the fake. Imagine losing your phone at gunpoint and the next day you angrily storm the market for a new phone. A month later, you start complaining of the battery, which doesn't last, and stuff like that. That will be more heartbreaking. Take your time and analyze what led to the previous heartbreak you had and how you can avoid it. Finally, before you next heal first. Thank you.